Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my hope and prayer that this video is going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I'm fine. Kisumu is also fantastic. Yesterday, Babu Owino ignited fire in ODM party. And if you ask me, unless Raila Odinga intervenes, that fire is likely to consume ODM party. I've talked to so many people within the ODM party, and the majority of them are not happy. And that's why Babu Owino's sentiments received overwhelming support from most of ODM supporters. This is what Babu Owino posted. ODM party, so many youths and myself sacrificed a lot and used our own resources in the party over the years. Our pay is betrayal and blackmail. It is okay. Tomorrow is another day. So in that particular statement, Babu is talking of two things. Betrayal, which I've always maintained is a constant in politics, and also blackmail. So many people do not really understand what Babu Owino meant. Then Ledama Olekina, another darling within the ODM party, who has also been shortchanged, came and responded to Babu Owino this way. It is about time we demand what is ours. Enough of always being kept in arms, away, while others chill in their houses and are rewarded with the lion's share of the party's position. Remember, Ledama Olekina was actually one of the people who was projected, was going to be promoted, especially in Senate leadership. He got nothing. Babu Owino then made another post after I'm just trying to get, Babu Owino made another post after 3 hours after making that post. And he's saying, the ODM party, with due respect, why should Honorable Mbadi come down from the position of majority leader to park chair, which was reserved for me? This will not happen over my dead body. Young people must get their space. It's now or never. He has been rewarded through the nominations. So Babu is now bringing up the real issue, why he was complaining. And it boils down to the position of the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament. It seems that Mbadi is interested in the position and is twisting Raila Odinga. Remember, ODM party nominated Opiyo and I as the majority or minority leader, Junet Mohammed as the majority or the minority leader, depending on how the speaker is going to rule. Then Park was reserved for Babu Owino. But John Mbadi, who decided not to contest for his parliamentary seat but opted for Homa Bay gubernatorial seat, decided to come back to parliament via nomination, which is a favor, by the way. Then once he came back to parliament, he insisted on being the majority leader or minority leader. He missed that. John Mbadi then started demanding for now Park. And this is what Babu Owino is fighting against. And I'm reading a response by Opondo Kaloma, the Homa Bay town member of parliament, who has responded to Babu Owino. And that's why I'm telling you that the way things are moving in ODM party, if it's not tamed, they're going to have it rough. This is what Kaloma is saying. He's telling Babu that Raila has enabled you to serve 2 terms as a member of parliament, just for shouting Tibim and Telala. What more does Babu owe? Now, the reason I'm giving you that statement by Opondo Kaloma is that in ODM party, there are 2 factions. There is one faction which consists majorly of the old guards. And then there is the second faction which consists majorly of the young turks. The old guards are positioning themselves to succeed Raila Odinga. For them, Raila Odinga's succession politics is serious. And this is the camp which is rallying around John Mbadi. They are the camp who don't want Junet Mohammed to be the whip. Because Junet Mohammed, if you remember Babu Owino's even some previous posts, he came to the aid of Junet Mohammed. And unfortunately for them, Raila Odinga seems to prefer these young thugs. But you know, Raila Odinga in most cases ends up chilling out with most of these old guards. For example, Oburu is insisting that he must be a commissioner with the Parliamentary Service Commission so that he can be driven using a government vehicle. So they have been using such kind of people. But what is really happening in ODM? The truth is, after ODM lost the election, everybody is now for himself. And that's why I keep on insisting that unless Raila Odinga intervenes, his party is going to die. Why? Number one, the reward system within ODM party system does not really favor the loyalists. You know, if you look at the way Ruto nominated people to parliament, to county assemblies, it's majorly on the account of loyalty. For ODM party, there are those who really deserve the seats. They don't end up getting it. You find someone like Oduro when nominating the wife. You find someone like Junior nominating who. You know, the other day I was seeing Amnesty International congratulating Catherine Muma for nominating herself to the Senate, and for nominating herself to the National Assembly. Is it the Senate or National Assembly? Then at the same time, another board member of Amnesty International, Asego Siji what, the lady who was part of Sauti Sol, also nominated, and she also sits in the board of Amnesty International. So, which probably means Catherine Moma influenced. So the reward system in ODM party, it's really not favorable to most people. And because of that, so many people who are loyal to the party are now finding it very difficult to continue with that loyalty. There is also the issue of the cartels, which is number 2 within ODM party. There are people who believe that the party belongs to them. What they say is law. What they don't say cannot happen. And these people, some of the times, they find themselves controlling a lot around Raila Odinga. And because most of them are old guards, the young thugs are finding it very difficult. For example, personally, I've not understood why ODM party never nominated that Fikirini Jacobs, the young man from Kilifi, who was number 1 on the ODM nomination list for Kilifi. But they ended up nominating someone also from Kilifi, but not Fikirini Jacobs. Fikirini Jacobs would have been the best candidate for that slot if ODM party was keen on rewarding loyalty and the youth. Then even the way they nominated people, if you get that list, who are nominated? That's another question. And if Raila is not careful, I can tell you, take for example Nyanza. In Nyanza, during ODM nominations, almost all former members of parliament went back, apart from one, Kisumu Central. Why? Because the others found a way of manipulating the system so that as much as every other person came, joined the ODM, contested, campaigned, they didn't have a chance to contest. So many people are now very angry and bitter with Raila Odinga. And also there is the issue of fatigue. So many people are now tired. You know, Raila Odinga didn't succeed. Most people believe that this was his last chance. He didn't succeed. But now, how do you bring these people together? You can't bring them together by purporting to fight emerging leaders like Babu Owino. And also there is the issue of the Luo succession politics. The truth is, someone like James Orengo has his camp within ODM party. He wants to succeed Raila Odinga. The other truth is that there's a group around Joho who also believes that they can take the party forward. Also, there's another group. So the Raila Odinga succession politics at the national level and also in Nyanza is going to kill ODM party. But let us now get back to Babu Owino. Why is Babu Owino causing all this storm? Why? And why is he receiving the support? Number one, Babu Owino is actually the face of the youths in ODM party. Because if you look at the people who are elected, who can represent the face of the youths? It is only Babu Owino. And that's why during the entire campaign period, Babu Owino was always whenever Raila Odinga was. Lekina Oledama was or remains the face of the youth. He's also complaining. And because Babu Owino is the face of the youth within ODM party, majority of youths are now supporting him. So if he can sustain this onslaught, if he can pile pressure, I can assure you, he's going to succeed. He's going to succeed and he's going to become the chair of the pack. But in ODM, the way they do their things, they believe that once they intervene, Raila Odinga, they prevail on Raila Odinga, and then Raila Odinga will prevail on Babu, then that's the end of the story. But it's going to have serious impact. Someone was telling me how, for example, it would look like if you have Mbadi as the pack chair, Junet as the minority leader, then you have Wandai as the majority leader or minority leader. You know, it doesn't really look well. It's like it has been turned into a Luo affair. But if you break that and have Babu Owino, despite the fact that he's a Luo, he's youthful, so he can be sold as a youthful leader. And number two, Babu's popularity across the country is something which Mbadi doesn't enjoy. The fact that Mbadi is the chairperson of ODM party does not mean that he enjoys the same support nationally as Babu Owino. John Mbadi can't go to Mombasa and walk freely. Babu Owino cannot. He cannot walk freely. I've actually campaigned, although this election I did not really campaign for Raila, but in the last election, everywhere we went with Babu Owino, people always demanded him to speak. And that's why I insist that one day Babu Owino will become the president of the Republic of Kenya. If ODM party is keen on winning the presidency one day, because based on the trends, the fact that Kibaki won and the second term, Uhuru won and the second term, I don't think Ruto will not earn a second term. So which means if ODM is keen, then they should start thinking beyond 2022. And the only person with that national outlook in ODM party who can be molded into a national leader is Babu Owino. And lastly, the reward system in ODM party is going to make Babu Owino a hero. He's reminding the ODM ranks and files that it is the time for the youth, that the time is now, that they were shortchanged. And for him, he's not going to allow himself to be shortchanged. Raila Odinga convened a crisis meeting later today. I'll be following that crisis meeting to understand what is really happening, what's going to transpire. Until that time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye. Thank you, guys.